A woman asked me today at the park how my day was going, and I said, not too bad, except for a couple of flat tires and running through dog poop on my bike ride. And that was the case. It was not too bad, but a little earlier it was not so great. I was very agitated and frustrated. And as a teacher, one of the most difficult things for me to work with is my own hypocrisy sometimes in not remembering to do the things that I guide others to do. And earlier when I was having those flat tires and dealing with the dog poop, I was very frustrated, very agitated, angry a little bit actually. And of course, biologically what that means is my blood pressure is going up, along with my stress level, my cortisol levels, the stress hormone is rising, it's getting kind of anxious. And all of that is a cascading chain of hormones and chemistry in the blood that keeps me agitated. And what I forgot to do in that moment was to breathe. Now, in the video I shot last week, I was talking about how to feel your chi, the sense of energy, or prana, is it's termed in Ayurvedic medicine. This breath or chi. In Ayurvedic yoga realm, the word breath has a lot. Prana is not only breath, but it's also the sense of energy. So, and in Chinese tradition, it's chi. So we were doing a meditation and coming to the breath to observe the state of energy. And so whenever I come home to the breath, whenever I can take that deep belly breath, it actually changes the physiology of what's going on in my system. The anxiety level begins to drop. The excess carbon dioxide that's built up in the blood due to shallow breathing, that gets released. And my nervous system moves from what's called the sympathetic state to the parasympathetic state. And that's a fancy way to say it's moving from fight or flight to a state of more calm relaxation and serenity. Now that only lasts maybe as long as the breath is going fully. Sometimes it's easy to lose that sense. Like last night, there was a problem with the air conditioner, water dripping from the ceiling. The drip tray was backed up, and it's like, panic, but dealt with that late at night, resolved the problem, cleared the drain, and thought, okay, life is good, everything's fine. But then waking up today, that could be very different. I did wake up a little agitated today, and maybe you have a sense of waking up sometimes with a little bit of difficulty, a little bit of anxiety, fear of the future, maybe a long agenda, things to do during the day, and a certain level of stress. So right when your feet hit the ground in bed, off of getting out of bed, can you come into that belly breath? Can you find yourself taking a moment and remembering to do what I did not remember to do earlier today, which is when you're in a moment of frustration or upset, fully breathe deeply. And you may have heard me say this in different videos, in different ways, at different times. I kind of say it over and over again. A, because it's helpful, I think, for a lot of people. B, I need to hear myself say it sometimes, because the more that I share this with you, the more that I can remember to use these techniques myself. And these techniques are what keep me sober one day at a time. Last night I went to bed not agitated. This morning I woke up agitated and had these problems, although they're first world problems. A flat tire and running through dog poop. Okay, it's not that big a deal. But to me at that moment, it was frustrating and a little bit of anger causing. And so you might have those situations where when you really take a step back, life is okay. You're sober, you're clean from drugs, maybe you have work, your family, friends, kids, what have you. What have you that is worth staying sober and clean for? And so when we get wrapped up in this world of external stuff that we react to instead of responding, we do have our primary tool to come back to at any moment. And there's a lot of tools. That's why I call my teaching operation here Growing Balance, everyday tools for addiction recovery, because there are a lot of them. Yoga, Qigong, nutrition and practical food choices, meditation, mindfulness, herbal medicine, all of these things I've learned to use over the last 6 years of my sobriety in a balanced way. Not too much excess in one or the other, but using each appropriately in their way, in their time, in a balanced manner, growing balance. And so it all starts with the breath, though, because if it's not possible to take that step back and put a little distance between an upsetting situation and myself, if it's not possible for you to take that little bit of moment of clarity to shift your biochemistry and your neurochemical balance into a state where you're able to be more relaxed and less stressed, lowering blood pressure, lowering cortisols, shifting away from the fight or flight state. If you can't do that in moments of critical stress or anger or even relatively mild frustration, somebody cuts you off in traffic, these are the things that lead us to relapse, because we don't have that space, that wedge, to build a little bit of distance between the external world providing a stimulation which is not so pleasant and our reaction to it. So as we grow to respond instead of react, we start with the breath and we end up growing our balance. So if you're not already receiving my weekly email, please head on over to growingbalance.com. I'd love to share with you. If you offer me your email address, I will provide you additional information in an ongoing way. I don't pummel your inbox. I just like to share. Maybe please scroll down, give me a comment or a like, and share this video if you think it might be helpful with somebody. And remember, come home to your breath. It really starts there. And I'll try to remember the same thing because I teach it. I really need to do it myself. Thanks for being with me today, and may you enjoy all of your day today and breathe well. See you next time.